Okay, folks, welcome. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, and welcome to our bi-weekly power session. Welcome to Follow Your Effort. We are a program that's designed to implement emotional intelligence into strategy and planning, getting our mindset straight for action and delivering results. So that's what Follow Your Effort is. Today's topic is controlling the thought clock. And I had this epiphany about 3 weeks ago, and it dawned on me, how long do I allow my mind to ponder on something? And the more I talked about it, the more I thought through it, talked with others about it, the more I realized this is a real issue. So I'm live on Facebook. If you're joining us on Facebook, very cool. Welcome. Happy you're here. Like I said, I do these every other week, and it is a quick jam session on just important, relevant topics to improving our mindset and our focus. And lastly, of course, our efforts, because efforts is friction. So let's talk a little bit about, for those of you who aren't familiar, again, with Follow Your Effort, why it works. The mindset's the blueprint for our success. It's as simple as that. It's everything. And it's ownership of ourselves. We design that mindset using emotional intelligence. So we delve into that on the surface, and we construct an outcome with that discipline. And lastly, like I said, you become the architect of your success using strategy, planning tools, other tools that will help you maintain that focus, maintain that mindset. Because emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, it does not replace effort. It protects effort from being derailed. Okay. Always send me an email anytime or direct message. Who benefits from Follow Your Effort? Really, the individual performer. Truly, anybody is going to benefit from an increase in emotional intelligence, but strictly with Follow Your Effort. Individual performers, leaders, business owners, people who are relied upon to make decisions, to uh, shape the direction of an organization. This is who that's for. Top producers that walk into every conversation, control, certainty, control, and authority. And that's kind of the end goal. And lastly, people who want to build championship teams. This is where it begins. So effort is one thing, right? That gives everyone a chance to be successful. So let's tap into that and be successful. Okay. Controlling the thought clock. All right. Well, this was motivated by a conversation with a student in one of my courses who was talking about the fact that at night with stress, he keeps himself up all night. Right. And I had my revelation as well. How long am I going to allow myself to sit on something that doesn't even deserve my time? Uh, so this is the problem. We don't have a thinking problem. We have a loitering problem. And I love that word loitering. I've been, looking for an opportunity to use it. But yeah, you can't let our minds loiter around or have loiterers around distracting us from moving forward. So let's get into the reality of this challenge, right? Of controlling the thought clock. It's not the thought that hurts you, right? Because a lot of people will think that there's something detrimental. Thoughts are thoughts. They fly in and out all day long. It's about how long we let them land and stay in our brain. So it's the time you give it. That's what really hurts you, not the thought, the time. So the first step is, for the sake of this power session, is let's define the line that separates positive thinking versus wasteful thinking. So forgive me, what is contemplation? Thoughts. That's focused for something productive in your personal life, in your work life, professional life. It's intentional. The thought is going to generate some resolution, some activity. It's productive, right? It's stacking on successes. It's present tense. The loitering mind is emotional thoughts, right? Things that overcome us, unstructured thoughts and distracted thoughts, right? Things that keep us up at night, the things that keep us from being able to plug in and get things right, right? This is where we get stuck. Replaying conversations. Come on, we all do that, right? Replaying events, second guessing decisions that have been made and you moved on, um, thinking without direction, and mental noise, right? That's where we get stuck. So we're going to become aware of that now. You're going to think about after this power session, where do you get stuck? What are your common pitfalls with your mindset, where your mind is now preoccupied with something that's not even fruitful. And this costs a lot of money because we've lost focus. With lost focus, your performance is going to tank, right? You're going to burn yourself out. Your emotional drain from hanging on to something in the past or being freaked out about something that may or may not happen in the future, eliminating all logic from thought process. That's an emotional drain, right? And then lastly, delayed action. You're literally just wasting the precious seconds and minutes that we have to live in the present tense by living in the future and the past. So you're just giving away your time. And that's the cost. Okay. So real-time awareness. This is part of follow your effort, know thyself. Got to ask yourself, why am I thinking this? Okay. Is this even a fruitful thought? Is there anything to come of this? Is resolution either necessary, right? Or is it even possible? Because sometimes we'll think about things and get stuck on topics that derail our day that don't need to be resolved, at least at that moment, right? And lastly, this is real important as part of that real-time awareness. Is this aligned with my goals? Is this, is the time I'm spending on this really aligned with my goals? And follow your effort, we know whether things are aligned because we have our goals, we have our standards, we have our strategy, we have our plan. So if it doesn't fall in that framework, then you might be wasting your time. So when we talk about standards, and raising our standards that follow your effort, how it applies to this topic is our minds need direction. They do not need freedom. They need direction. Without direction, without guardrails, that's what happens when we're sleeping, right? Our mind's just going all over the place. So set a standard. Set a standard. And again, as you become aware of this, write it down, see it, hear it. These things will become a lot more commonplace. They'll start naturally showing up. It's like working out. It's like anything. It takes a minute to get used to this, but set a standard that productive thoughts only. Thoughts that are going to be uh, help resolve challenges, create new opportunities, purpose-driven focus. Are the thoughts going to be beneficial to others? Are your thoughts promoting your ability to care, be empathetic about others? And lastly, that immediate correction when you're drifting, when your mind's drifting, throw the flag, blow the whistle, give the yellow card, whatever it is you want to do. Make sure you correct your thoughts when drifting. Be aware of it. And that's ultimately the whole point of this. Um, lastly, and I can't believe I didn't think to insert this, is literally time it. Like, okay, man, I've been thinking about this for 10 minutes. Enough's about. I've wasted 10 minutes. Right. So and as you look down at your clock to see, I've been thinking about this. That is a good measurement. That is something good to reflect on. How much time are we giving? So here's the reset. You got to train your mind to, see, I did put it in there. You must train your mind to stop, right? When our mind's drifting, take notice of the time spent on topic. Cut the, cut the thoughts that we have armed ourselves with, right? Because at Follow Your Effort, we arm ourselves with mindset tools, timeouts, right? So, for example, the individual that's keeping themselves up at night, anxious about what could be in the future, I literally just read this article. I'm going to forward it to them. Uh, that was a trick to changing your mind at night to help you fall asleep. And it was really simple. It was a game. It was come up with a word that is a positive word to you, that means something to you. Um, and then I'll make up a word, hippopotamus. And then could obviously be simpler. I don't know if I could spell hippopotamus, but whatever that word is. And then you start with the first letter and you literally try to recite as many words that come to your mind. So H, hello, or helicopter, or, point, you go down that letter by letter and you will fall asleep before you get too far. It's that mind needs breaks. And these tools that we learn through Follow Your Effort give you those breaks. Redirect attention, right? Lean into that predetermined strategy and plan you created. Lean into that. So when you're outside, your mind's drifting, go back to your Bible, right? Your constitution of your business. Redirect that attention because written down, you've done your work. You know what you should be doing at that moment. Lean into it. Use that, and then now you're getting back to action. Now you're getting back on your path. Now you're following your effort again. And we want to follow our effort because effort is friction. Effort gives us a chance to be successful. Effort is admirable. Effort does not rely, its success of effort doesn't rely on whether or not you win or lose, or the outcome was the one you want. It's about the effort. And we got to get back to following our effort. All right. So here's the edge you get, right? High performers win in the first minute, and they do that because they don't let their minds, their thoughts linger long enough for these topics to become a problem. How long you let it live, right? The mind pondering, that's shaping our results right now. In other words, the longer we stay in, the lower productive. The further out we are, the higher productive. And we just want to find a baseline. Just remember that as long as you are understand that we fall nonstop. That's life. Life is literally walking, falling. The trick is just getting back up, facing forward, and keep going because you're going to fall again. That's a good thing to keep in mind because if you're not failing, you're not trying. So be okay with failing because it is a sign of growth when you get back up. Okay, so high performers know I'm not going to let these things linger in my mind. They're not pertinent. I'm not going to let these things live in my head. They're over. Let's go forward. Huge competitive edge in the workplace. So, closing thought. First of all, emotion is information. Emotions aren't bad. They're not in and of themselves a bad thing. They can become a negative when we let them control us, right? But emotion is just information that's floating that we don't even choose to come up with the thoughts. Rather, effort, on the other hand, that's a decision, right? And professionals win by choosing the next effort, right? So clear your mind, right? That's the whole goal of everything we do here is progress beats perfection, right? That's what we want, progress, not perfection. And we want to constantly be focusing on clearing our mind, clearing that lane to follow our effort, right? Without any hesitation, without any holdback. And remember, give yourself a lot of grace. Don't beat yourself up. There's a lot of truth in the mantra of improve 1% a day. That's a big win. And at the end of the day, even if you have your plan in front of you and you're hitting 70% of your activities, you're doing phenomenal. Phenomenal. There's no perfection here. Doesn't exist. Just doesn't exist. Okay, so 2 weeks. Your standards are your ceiling. Yes, I love talking about your standards, raising your standards. Standard is a standard, all those fun things. So we're going to talk about how standards are the ceiling. They are where we want to rise to. We don't want standards to be where we fall to or the floor. Okay. You can always reach out anytime. If any questions, you can reach me at george@followyoureffort.com. And also visit our website, get on our listserv, follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. Yes, I got to get YouTube on there. We've got a nice little collection of videos, a library, content library that we want to now start sharing with the world at no cost. Just come and visit, get some thoughts, quick videos, things that might motivate you, inspire you, things like that. Thank you again for coming. I greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who were out in Facebook land, hey, hope you enjoyed this. I'll check that out later. Otherwise, I'll repost this on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, uh, so that anytime you miss a power session, no worries, it will be shared and released later. Thank you very much for joining us, and also good strength on your journey. And we're always here for you to lift each other up. Let's stay locked in together. Let's keep moving forward. Let's focus and follow our effort. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your week.